Hello and welcome to this core-focused, dynamic Pilates workout. It's going to be a short one, all right, but short and sharp. So we're going to start down on the mat. So bring yourself down to a seated position, and from there, we might just do a little bit of loosening up of our spines. So maybe with the feet out in front, let's take the hands behind our back, hands to the floor, and we'll just lift the chest. And then round it back in. So with the breath, on the inhale, lift the chest, tilt the pelvis. And inhale, pubic bone toward the belly button, chin in. And we'll do 2 more of those. All right, back into a neutral position. And you might just roll yourself onto your side to bring yourself down onto your back. So with your knees bent, your feet hip distance, just the natural curvature in your low back. Let the back of the ribs and the shoulders melt into the floor and lengthen the back of your neck. Use a cushion here under your head if you think you need one, right? So hands down by your side, and we're going to start with just a few toe taps. So we send the breath into the belly, let the belly expand as we breathe. And as we exhale, we have a slight engagement of the pelvic floor muscles, the low and upper abdominals. And we stabilize this pelvis now as we float the right knee up to tabletop. And then slowly, gently, return it to the floor. Keep the pelvis stable using those core muscles as we float the left knee up. And then gently return that one to the floor. And we just continue alternating with our focus of maintaining just the natural curvature in the low back and keeping the pelvis stable as we lift and lower those legs. Lifting on an exhale, lowering on the inhale, lifting on the exhale, lowering on the inhale. So you can continue to do it exactly like that if you feel like that's enough for you. If you want to increase the challenge, you could float both legs up, lowering from here and lifting back up so that your tabletop position becomes your start point. Now as you do that, remember we're trying to keep the shoulders, the upper back, the mid-back, all on the floor, with only the natural curvature in the low back, which really isn't very much at all, just barely fitting your hands or your fingers barely under your back there. So concentrating so that you can sense how your body is moving. We're going to do one pair. And then we can hug the knees in toward our chest. Take a deep breath. And then one at a time, we're going to return our feet to the floor. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall out to the side. Now from here, we're going to interlace the fingers and rest our head in our hands, slide our shoulders down away from our ears. So let's try to maintain a neutral spine as we bring the legs and elbows in and back out again. So we draw them in, engaging our pelvic floor and our low abdominals only enough, so not overworking them, just enough for this task. So enough to maintain neutral position of the spine, the pelvis, as we move. 2 more of these. Now, of course, you could keep it at this level. Otherwise, we're going to add on. So to add on, we're going to bring the right knee and then the left one up to tabletop. I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together there. And then, as we exhale, we lift the head and chest, do a little crunch, and lower. Exhale, lift, draw in, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So we're zipping up pelvic floor, drawing the low tummy in and up as we lift. When we lower, we relax them. Last two. And then one at a time, we return the feet to the floor and we leave the head and shoulders down. All right, from here, we're going to take the right hand to the right thigh. Again, maintain neutral, take a breath. Exhale, float that knee up, pushing the hand into the thigh, and then gently lower. Switching, keeping the pelvis stable as we do this. Lift the left knee up, pressing the hand and thigh against each other. Feel those abdominals switch on. Switching. Exhaling, push. Inhale, lower. Exhale, push. Inhale, lower. Now, of course, we can add on if you feel ready to. You're just going to do add some chest lifts to that. Otherwise, just keep going the way you are. On the exhale, lift the chest. Push. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift the chest. Maintain neutral spine and pelvis. Lower. Exhale, lift. Push. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and push. Inhale, lower. One more pair. And lower it. All right, now we're going to go diagonally, right? So we take the right hand and bring it across toward the left thigh. Again, you can do it with the head and shoulders on the floor, or you can bring the head and shoulders up. Deep breath in to prepare. Exhale, press. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press. Inhale, lower. And again, for our last pair, really push the leg and the hand and return to the floor. Well done. Okay, take a deep breath in. On the exhale, float the right knee, then the left knee. Take the hands and press them into the legs. Now, we really need to maintain neutral, stable pelvis as we do this. If you want to add on, bring the head and shoulders up. Pressing, pressing, pressing. You can really feel that. Holding for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees in toward the chest. And then coming back up into position again. A new one. We're going to, of course, you can leave the head and shoulders on the floor if you need to. Take the opposite hand across, okay? And then press into those as we extend and return the opposite set of limbs. We've got 2 more. Steady, controlled movement. That's it. Hug the knees in toward the chest. Then we're going to go to the other side. Deep breath in. Exhale. Knees up to tabletop. Opposite hand across. Leave the head and shoulders on the floor if you need to, or bring them up. Pressing. Right hand into left knee as you extend the other limbs away. We've got 6 of these all together. You're working with control, smooth, steady movement. Keep pushing. 1 more. I know you can feel that burn. I can feel it too. coming all the way down. All right, bringing the feet to the floor. Take a breath. Exhale, flatten the low back into the floor. Lift the hips, bring them all the way up. Take a nice stretch all the way into the front line of the body. And then vertebra by vertebra, coming back down again. Now, here we go. For the next one, interlace the fingers, rest the head in the hands. Take a breath. Exhale, and we crunch up, so upper body lifts. We maintain neutral. And we lower the head, and we lift, thrusting the hips. Inhale, lower. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, down. Exhale, bridge. Inhale, lower. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, lower. Okay, let's go 4 more. Crunching up, then lifting the hips. Lowering those with control. So don't move too fast. Control and precision. That's what we're looking for. And last one. Gently lowering the hips. And we're going to roll onto our side. Okay, we are nearly done. Take the hands to the outside of the hips. Sit in that 90-degree angle. And with your hands on the floor. Take a deep breath. On your exhale, lift the pelvic floor, engage those deep core muscles, press the hands into the floor, lift the hips, slide them back behind you, and then back down to the floor again. Let's do it again. Take a breath. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, lower. And here we go. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, lower. We're going for 4 more. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, lower. Actually, it's 5. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. I think we have 2 more, do we? 8 in total, right? Lift. Inhale, lower. And last one. Gather those core muscles. And then lower the hips back down to the floor. Okay, cross the legs at the ankles. We're coming onto our hands and knees. Fingers spread nice and wide. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Curl toes under. I'm coming sideways just to show you a little bit more clearly. Neutral spine. Okay, so do a few pelvic tilts there if you need to figure out and sense where your neutral is. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Press the feet into the floor. Hover the knees just barely off the floor. Lift the back of the head and neck up toward the ceiling, but you're looking at the floor. Separate those shoulder blades. And you're only holding this position as long as you can maintain good alignment and good control and support through the pelvic floor and the abdominals. So bringing those knees to the floor at any stage that you need to. Take a little rest and you can always come back up again. Try to slow your breath down. See if you can just breathe in and out through the nose. And then gently returning those knees to the floor. And from here, we're going to come to a seated position for our last one with the legs wide. So we take the right hand behind the right hip and we bend that knee in and we reach and lower. So just taking a nice stretch. And over to the other side. We reach and we lower. So a really nice stretch through the front of the body now. You bring in that pubic bone in toward your chin as you lift. And our last one, reaching all the way up And then gently lowering those hips. And you're done. Well done. So short, sharp burst for the abdominals and the deep core muscles. And you should be feeling that now. All right, thank you very much. Take care.